Alright. Okay, what did I want to do? Let's run it, see where we're at. How are we looking? Okay, so yeah, I think I might have inadvertently fixed my gap issue without meaning to, so that's fucking great. Never mind. That one still exists. But I think I fixed the gaps on the entrance chunks. Ugh. So that's good, but I wanted to, right, what I wanted to do was... yeah, what I wanted to do was not make them so large. So instead of just determining that a chunk should not render, rather just determining that the chunk... The game stayed out of here. Yeah, this is probably good. This is probably good. Because this is just preventing the edge points from happening. I could just remove like a random 1 point. I'm thinking about all the different scenarios of like, so we can have like 2 on opposite sides, we can have 2 on adjacent sides, we can have 3, we can't have 4, right? Impossible to have 4. And then we can also just have 1. So if it's 1, that's easy, we just get rid of it. If there's 3, I think I would want to get rid of that one, right? And I guess if I'm removing points, I would need to make sure that the neighbors know that those are removed points as well. Because technically, this point is shared by this one and this one. So I would need to then store the, rather not the zone entrance chunks, but the zone entrance points. Am I storing... I have zone entrance border chunks. Let me throw something on here for zone entrance points. And I guess to make sure that when I'm rendering, I need to check if any of my neighbors are zone entrances. If it is, I need to get its zone entrance points and remove those. And so let me check out where I'm calculating a lot of border splines, and then calculate zone border entrances. So I determine which chunks are which, and I think I should also just determine here which points are which as well. And add zone border chunk entry. What am I? I'm calculate zone border entrances, but I'm adding a zone border chunk entry? Why am I doing that? That doesn't make sense to me. It did at one point, though. For neighbor index in neighbors, neighbors is zone border chunks, right? Okay, because this. Wait a second. Where is it? Okay, a map of border chunk. Does that show up? A map of border chunk coordinate to the neighbor biome indices it is next to. Okay. And so, because it's next to a zone entrance, I add a zone border chunk entry. I feel like I don't need to do that. I do need to do this line. I do need to do those two lines. What happens? Let me make sure I fully understand what this function is doing here. Zone border chunks. I'm adding the neighbor biome index, but if I'm not mistaken, those should already be added. Does anything get weird when I do that? Yeah, let's run live coding there. We'll see if anything gets weird. We're building a lot. Did I accidentally... Oh, I added something to a header file, so we're going to need to rebuild this, yeah. Things always get weird after touching a header file. Okay. Ooh, look at this formation. That looks sick. Oh, I can't wait to do rivers. Rivers are going to be so cool. I don't know how I'm going to make water flow. I have no idea how that works. All I did was just throw a flat ocean in my world and called it a day whenever I first did water. Okay, what would I expect to be... what have I done? What have I done? We good? Okay, we're good. Did anything get wonky? Nothing looks wonky, and yeah, I mean, I feel like that was maybe left over from when I was like doing merging biomes and trying to fix things up at the same time. All that would be doing would be adding the neighbor index, which this is already a neighbors. I already got here from neighbors. Oh god, leave those commented. Leave those commented. Okay, and then now that we've done all that, zone entrance border chunks, we're adding chunk coordinate twice. we're adding it to the neighbor biomes as well. And so I guess I'm adding zone border chunk entry. Oh, is that why I was doing that? Okay. What was my goal here? What was my... Why was I doing this? God damn it. Should have commented this. I kind of get, I think, why I was doing this. I'm adding this chunk coordinate as a zone border chunk in the neighbor, even though this chunk does not belong to that neighbor. Just so it... I think I was doing that maybe just so it could know. I don't think I need that, though. Again, I'm just going to leave it commented, and we'll see if that bites us in the ass in the future. Okay, but now, so calculating these zone border entrances, what I want to do is calculate an individual point to get rid of. I think I would only ever want to delete one point. It's just going to be a different point for different scenarios, and so I think my scenarios are one like this, where I can have 2 on adjacent sides, or one like this, where I can have 2 on opposite sides. And then I can have a 3. And in this case, I mean, this is the only case I would specifically want to get rid of one, I think. Well, because like getting rid of this one would be, I guess, the most impactful. And all of these points are on the border, so really... Alright, let's just start with doing a random one to get rid of. And so, do I have an RNG stream already? Do I have a random stream? Okay, I don't think so. So we can create a new one. And I guess technically, chunk coordinate entry, zone entrance indexes, which is an index, contains current index. I don't know why I'm doing a for loop like this. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I don't increment current index if it's already connected. Make sure we get our minimum connections in there. Okay. I guess just what we want to do is get the edge points for this chunk. This is an F vector. Okay, and we're gonna remove one of these. Is it an F vector? It's a set. T set. Oh, that's gonna be annoying. Okay. I need to pick an index. F random stream RNG equals F random stream with my noise data seed, which is going to be an endless terrain noise data.seed, and then I want to add the chunk coordinate to that. Do I want to add the chunk coordinate to that? I think I just want to generate one of these random indices. Yeah. And then I will have to find the index of that because it's a fucking set. And it's unsorted. Okay, so what was that? Stop that, Copilot. Stop that. I just want to tab over there, please. Jesus. Okay, thank you. So I want an integer, and this is going to be remove index. Rand range in between 0 T set not T chunk edge points dot num minus 1. Okay, so we're just getting a random index in that range. And I suppose, I mean, this should never be Zone entrance, yeah, so this is all in the zone border chunks array, so this always should have. I guess I would want to know about a scenario where this doesn't have anything in it. So I shouldn't need to check if this index is in range. It should always be. And so remove index, what I'll need to do is for each, for I rather. What the hell? For I. Ryder, hello, please. For each is there. Where the hell is for I? I'm so reliant. There it is. Gee, why wasn't that showing up before? That was so annoying. This actually needs to be J. Yeah, in less than go away Cortana. Yeah. Okay, so if J equals remove index, then what we're going to do is in the biome zone, which let me make sure that this is a reference. It is a reference to the biome zone, so it's going to be mutable. Biome zone dot zone entrance points dot add this point. Which, now that I realize this, I need a for each because of how sets work in Unreal, which is so annoying. I was literally just working in Java earlier today where sets were being lame to me because you can't get from a set. You can't retrieve an item from a set in Java, and that was really fucking annoying. So that's what I have to do. Not in neighbors. This is going to be in biome zone, or in edge points. Chunk edge points for points. Point not. Okay, add the point in the zone entrance points. Okay, so now I have the points that I'll want to ignore. These are the points that I want to ignore. And so later, when I'm doing get chunk edge points, rather than checking for if the zone entrance chunk, if it is a zone entrance chunk, I'll need to check if it is a zone entrance point. Edge point 2. So I can reuse this name, edge point. Rather than is zone entrance, let's do bool u biome component is zone entrance point. And so I guess I will need the chunk and the point for this. And I'm going to need to get the yeah, I guess I need to check both here, actually. Neighbor chunk chord. This is now, I don't like this anymore. I want to inline it now, rather than it be a function. And I'll say if not is zone entrance chunk, pass in the chunk coordinate, cur chunk. Oh my god. Per chunk, and then we also add the edge point, now that we've like calculated it, right? What don't you like? It has is zone entrance chunk. It needs to be is zone entrance point. Okay. And so I will need to get the biome. Get chunk biome, chunk cord. Chunk biome. So rather I should just be like, I can just return get chunk biome. Well, no, I need to store this. To make sure I need to validate the chunk coordinates. F biome zone, chunk biome. And it's a pointer, right? They're pointers, if I'm not mistaken. Return chunk biome and you guys have either one, right? Chunk biome and chunk biome. God, I cannot type today. Zone entrance points contains point. Or then let's wrap this. Or, come on, Copilot, you got it. There we go. And get chunk biome. It's a constant pointer. There we go. Okay. Okay, so if it's not a zone entrance point, we add it. It's a zone entrance point if it is contained in the zone entrance points set. It is in the zone entrance points set if it has been added here. Okay, and then I think I need to, do I need to remove those, yeah, I mean, this doesn't hurt anything. It's not going to make a difference if I remove those or not, I don't think. Right, I touched a header file, rebuild, I know. Alright, come on, Unreal Engine, you can do it. And so, if this works, I should see a lot smaller zone entrance things. It's going to be interesting to see. We're going to need to teleport around a bit. But it's building slow today. Goodness, thank you, Jesus. Okay. Okay, no crashes, no whammies. Okay, we're good there. Now let's see if our zone entrances actually showed up this time, and showed up correctly. So there should be one right there. Okay, that doesn't look any different. That doesn't look any different. It is a zone entrance point if we have a chunk biome. Neighbor chunk coordinates. Why doesn't that look... That looks zero different. This was a result I was not expecting. Okay, so let's click on... what was it, like 95? I want to say 95. There we go. Yep, I was right. 95. Okay, so... Okay, I guess that one makes sense. Okay, I guess, yeah, I guess... There was only one. Okay, yeah, that one makes sense. Now that I'm looking at it that way. Yeah. Okay. So really, let's go look at something else. Let's go over here and take a look at these ones. Okay, what am I looking at? This area is green. Okay, so we got one there. Yeah, that actually didn't change much. I'm sure there are some that are changed. I guess I would expect this one to be different. What biome is this? Was that like 92 or something? It was 92. So that one is still one. It just removed that one. So I guess it would have gotten a bit smaller. Hey, E4. It's going good. How are you? This one, it's because they're offset, right? And that's why they look so large. And yeah, that's only one. Okay. So this didn't actually have as impactful as an effect as I wanted. What is happening here? I'm glad to hear you're doing all right as well. But what is happening here? Why do I have a gap here? Things are looking sick now. I know, right? Like I got the splines finally working, just trying to like put the finishing touches on it, and you know, polish some freaking cracks that are showing up. Okay, and so this was biome 92. So why? When I'm getting, excuse me, when I'm getting the distance to closest border spline, rather, when I'm getting the get neighbor chunk splines. Okay, we are checking in every direction. So why is this one? I mean, this one's a little off too. Why are both of y'all? Why are both of y'all? I mean, really, this one, it actually looks like the one that might be off. Well, these two, rather. They think there's another point somewhere. So what I may need to do, first of all, is remember where that is. It's top right of the green zone. And what's, this is -6, -6? Which is, it's the top right green, right there. Okay, so what I'm gonna do actually now is I'm gonna turn back on this stuff. And this is going to lead to some error messages, but we're gonna click through them, because it'll show me what each chunk thinks is its subsection of the spline. And with that information, I should be able to tell what those chunks are doing. Yep. That's to be expected. That's to be expected. Okay, maybe this isn't to be expected. Why is this happening now? Wasn't happening before. Component is null. How on earth would that be null? What? Oh, I need to do that. That's what I need to do as well. Okay, rebuild it. Once again. Okay. Yeah, I departed on a quest to make the zone entrances a bit smaller. They weren't as wide and were more, I don't know, maybe a little bit more hidden, maybe a little bit more contained. Just something that actually makes it look like an entrance from the perspective of the player. Okay, here's the things we can skip. Skip that. Yes, yes, yes. Some thread locking happening here. Okay, yeah, so right up there is where we want to go. Okay, yeah, what's happening here? What's happening? Okay, so that is connecting that line to that line. And so is that one. This one is not, however. Neither of those two are. Okay, so let's take a look at your splines. What do we have here? Select first point. Okay, and this is where it actually may, you know what I need to do? I'm gonna turn my colors back on. Yes, I know. This is why I commented that stuff out, because it got very annoying. I want to turn back on the colors for my biomes here. That'll help me to better see where the points are supposed to be. Okay. Wow, where am I? Okay. Right here. Gotcha. Spline 0. Okay, we're gonna step through, so let me zoom out just yeah, there we go. Right there. So it should be going here to here to here to here about. And I'm randomly offsetting these points, so the points start there on the halfway point on the edges, so it should have been a roughly straight line. So we go there, then we go there, then we go there, then we go there. Perfect. Yeah, that one is correct. Now, why do I have a second spline point here? This okay, it's so we get one for each biome. So we go from here to there to there. So I'm going boom, 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 which is not the correct order. It should be going here to there to there. So wait a second, going back to the first one here. It goes, okay, so, yeah, okay. That's the correct order. So, I was under the impression that I iterated over them in the, so let me actually, I need to look at the spline for this red one. That means I'm going to need to find it. That means I'm going to need to find it. I'm gonna guess that this is below 90. Okay, so that looks good. And I know the spline is gonna look good. Ooh. Uh-huh. Okay, so is it the other one that's wrong? Wait, am I offsetting the points? Where do I do the random offset of the points? I thought I did it in get chunk points. What is it? Get chunk edge points? Yeah, I thought was I doing it in here? Okay, yeah, I do the random offset there. And I guess am I using this function when I'm building the splines? Yeah, I am. So that explains that. Okay, so it is they are being randomly offset. Now I wish I could fucking tell. So I randomly offset them, and then I suppose yeah. Okay, and then I sort them by the next closest distance. So this actually is correct with that methodology. Now, it seems like when I looked at some of the other ones, neighboring ones, so what was the next one I saw? Was it blue? I thought I saw one of the other ones. I saw green. And green does not contain that point, so that's fine. I need to find this other green one. There we go, 92. Which still does contain those 2 points. And so I guess it just doesn't contain... This is a interesting problem. So let's see what yours are. And so when I subsection the splines, I should be following the same order. But see, this one is not connecting back up to that one because... am I only getting 3? When I subsection? I mean, I just get all of the neighbor chunk splines. I'm missing a connection, basically. So it actually should be connecting there. So that one and that one are correct. These two are not. Let me trace through some of these again. I want to trace through each of them. And so yeah, that's the blue one. There should only be 2 there. Yeah, so we got blue. What is this one? This one has 0. That's a throwaway, which is fine. Then we start, this is the other green, which is also right. The one that is incorrect is this one, which apparently is the red one. Yeah, okay, so I guess, yeah, I only get... Oh, that's so fucking crazy. I would actually expect this issue to be happening a lot more than it is. And the reason this happened is because of the random offset. So if I don't randomly offset them, this issue goes away. And it's because I've randomly offset them, the order has changed. And because the order has changed, I now need actually one extra point to go from there to there on this one. Okay, and so what is my random offset amount? Yes, I know. And what, I guess in a chunk, it's 12,000 units, 12,000 schmeckles across a single chunk. And so what would that mean? What's the distance between a point on halfway on the side of each to like another halfway point? Like what's this distance from here to here? What is this? If this is 12k, what's that? Because I guess my random offset should be half of that, so that these don't like crisscross. What do I have it set to now? Max border point RNG offset is 4,000. Okay, so yeah, when I set it to 6,000, it got super wonky. If I do 2,000, I bet that problem goes away. Yeah, so now that chunk renders perfectly now. Both of the chunks. Because see, now we have a nice smooth. So less random, but we don't have issues like that. Okay, so I guess that's that issue. Interesting. Okay, is it even worth randomly offsetting now? I mean, I guess so. If 2,000 can be reliable, then I guess we can. But I want to, plowing through to my zone entrances. I guess what I want to do, if it only has 1 point, MS Paint time again. I'll put that over here. Okay, so I guess if I have a chunk. And this chunk only has 1 point. I get rid of it. But then this distance is way too big because the player is like that big. player is like that. That's a top-down view of the player. So that's a pretty large entrance, and it doesn't exactly, when you're looking at that from the ground, it doesn't look like an entrance. That's why I don't like it. It doesn't look like a new area because it's too big. So, and it's actually because, hang on, let me redraw this. I actually need the neighboring chunks. And so it would take it and turn it into this now. That's the entrance. And yeah, the player, that's a top-down view of the player. So, yeah, that's very big. That might actually be too big for the player. So, if I have 1 point, I guess what I could do is I could just get the corner points, and that would chop it down. That would chop these in half. But how would I do like a because the way I'm calculating the splines is if there's a certain point that's far enough away, then it just creates a new border spline, because a zone can have multiple borders. And so I set actually 24K is max distance between the points. And so if I just created points like this, I think it would just connect those two. Well, and also if I created new points, would it actually... Yeah, it would still connect those. It would connect those 2 points, therefore not making a... I don't know, I guess maybe what I should do is just do like a fucking... I should just make a spline, like a different spline, perpendicular, and like subtract that. Would that be easier than changing all the logic for how I'm creating these to begin with? Like, because then I could probably control the fall off and how wide I want them, and I could actually have a parameter for that. That would be nice. That seems kind of, it seems kind of hard to calculate what that spline. So maybe it should actually be... Yeah, so maybe we don't actually... I still calculate like which ones are zone entrance points, but I'm not going to omit them. I am not going to omit them. And then I guess in the map generator where I'm applying the mountains, where I'm adding the noise, I guess I would say, like, if this chunk is a, or has a zone entrance point in it, then I would want to also subtract this much from, and I would need to do this again away from that point. So maybe I don't need to do anything other than commenting that out for now. Okay, so we have alpha, and then maybe I'll say something like, if I'll say if biome components biome get what is it, is did I put that in the world map? Where is the zone? Is zone entrance chunk? Okay, it's private. We need to make that public. Is zone entrance chunk, chunk coordinate? Yes. Then what I'm going to do is, I guess I'll subtract from alpha based off of the distance, a lerped distance from the entrance point. So this will be zone entrance points. And so I guess I want another function like this. This is going to be get distance to closest zone entrance point. And this will be what? It'll be a set, right? Is what I did. Okay, it's not gonna help me declare this. It's fine. Apologies, had a barky dog. Okay, so yeah, we'll just return 0 vector there, that's fine. Oh my god. Dude, there are so many dogs outside my house right now freaking out. Like, and then therefore that means my dog inside is freaking out as well. What is happening out there? Dude, this is so frustrating. Like, there's people behind me that have 4 dogs, like 4 large dogs. Or no, they have 3 large dogs. One of them is a small dog. And their small dog can get through their fence and does so every time it sees another dog out. And it will literally run over into other people's yards. And of course, all the dogs are freaking out while this is happening. So that means my dog freaks out when it's happening. And she's still going. It's okay, sweetie. You don't need to bark just because they're barking. We've been through this so many times. It's okay. I know you're worried about the other doggos. They're quite large. I know, they're a lot bigger than you. But it's okay. Okay, are you done being traumatized about the other dogs? Are you done? Okay. Whoops, sorry about that. Apologies. Okay. Oh my god, she just goes right back to bark. Moxie, please stop. Okay, it's the closest entrance point. Moxie, hey, stop it! Come here! Stop! Stop it. Sit. Good. Stay right there. Good. Good girl. Dude, I know. She is, she's got really bad anxiety. We got her, like, 2 months before COVID lockdown happened. So when she grew up as a puppy, she never really met any other people or any other dogs. And I was also home all the time. And I am now, too. But she has, like, really bad anxiety when I leave. And she has really bad anxiety when she sees other people or dogs. She just starts freaking out. And like, even if I get her to stop barking, she'll sit there and be like, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. How you doing, Alexandra? How you been? And we give her trazodone. Like, she's prescribed anxiety medicine by the vet. And yeah, this is her on anxiety medicine. It was a lot worse without the medicine. Yeah, so I just want to... Yes. So rather than find distance, we're going to be doing an F vector dist between zone entrance points 0 and vert world location. Alright, and this is a set. Oh my god, do I want it to be a set anymore? I think I'm done with it being a set. Moxie! The dogs are done barking outside, but she's still freaked out about it, so she's running over to the window and barking still, even though nothing's happening out there. And you just gave me a little toot with that little bark, I know. They're not even outside anymore, Moxie. Okay, yeah. I don't want that, dude. This being a set is so annoying. Do I care about... I think I just do 4 each here. Moxie. Okay, point and then closest point for world location equals let's say closest point. I'm doing kind of great. Started playing Valheim for the first time. Oh hell yeah, with friends as well. Oh, that is like pinnacle. That is a great moment for you. I see what you meant with all the references of it. Hell yeah, hell yeah. It's a great game. It's a very fun game. I love how little there's such little fat on that game. Like if that game were a steak, it would be a filet mignon. And it's not to say that you can't have some fat in a game and have that be, you know, that's where the flavor comes from, right? In a steak. So I think, but that type of game is definitely like everything in that game has a purpose, and that purpose works well. I would like the building to be more permissive. Oh, you want to defy physics? Is that what you want? I do find it a little difficult to understand at first, but once you understand it, I feel like it's fairly straightforward. I remember I built like this giant Viking tower hall thing, and I got to the very top, and it was like I needed to put like one more, like the very tippy top on it, like these 2 pieces, and it was too high for like the support that I had, and it just wouldn't build, and I was so upset. But then you just unlock the iron pillars, and everything's all good. Basically build forever with those. What biome have you made it to, or what boss have you made it to, Alexandra? I want this to be like a, can I set this equal to an f vector that's infinite? Like infinity, infinity, and beyond? Does that work? It does, okay. So that'll work. We got to swamp and got killed by a wraith. Yeah, the swamp is like the first scary zone. And like with all the water and stuff and how it slows you down, it really makes you want to get the fuck out of the swamp. Which I love. I love how much I hate the swamp. It feels like a swamp. It does a great job of feeling like a swamp. Got the tree down, nice. So you got the first two bosses down, working on the third biome there. That's, yeah. That's a fun time. It was a fun time. Do you have a swamp base yet? Remember my friends and I trying to make a swamp base and just constantly having to defend it? We conveniently built it right next to the fire thrower people, and so it would constantly get attacked. But we had tons of sterling cores because of that. So that was nice. A nice bonus of it. Okay, so what am I don't even need to check that. I just need to get distance to closest entrance points. I do need to do something like this though. If biome component get chunk, I mean, if this fails, I got bigger problems. So never mind. I'm not gonna check this. Fuck it. We'll do it unchecked. Get chunk biome. Then I just want to do dots. I mean, should I just give it the? Let's just give it the chunk coordinates. And then I'll do that in there. Then I'll say F biome zone pointer. It'll need to be const. E, give it to me. There we go. Get chunk biome. I'll say if biome zone or it's empty. Okay. Pass it in there. Okay. Do I want to return the distance? Get distance to closest interest point? This should actually be named get closest to spline point. And then if I want to return I'll need to return this at the very end. Should actually be a float. We did this a few hours ago. After I got my items back, I logged out to explore the swamp with my friends tomorrow because we explored in different directions. Nice. We were cheating a little and we can go through the portals with ores. Oh, man. We just found swamps. Yeah, a lot of people don't like that you can't take the ores through the portals. It's an interesting game design choice, though. I get it, and I quite like it. And I mean, I think the reason players don't like it is just the sheer amount of time that it can take. And like I think if maybe the boat mechanics were a bit better and a bit faster, maybe players wouldn't care so much about it. But it's like you know, you got to get the ore back to the base, right? You can't just like plop down portals everywhere because then that just kind of trivializes the exploration. And especially with like how the boats, like they need the wind in a certain direction and stuff. It's very forgiving about what direction the wind needs to be in. But maybe it could just be a bit faster and players wouldn't mind so much about the portals. I don't blame you for not liking that part. Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of time. Like I know, like I've played the first, I don't know, 4 or 5 biomes through several times, so like I definitely wouldn't want to do that again. One of those things where it's fun the first time and not so much after that. I kind of want to add these zone entrance points. I do have the neighbor, right? Don't I have neighbor somewhere? Some horses would be nice to use them with the carriage. If that's how it's called. I think I know what you mean. Are you're talking about the little hand cart thing? Yeah, unfortunately, animal AI mechanics, especially with attaching them to other things, kind of gets super wonky and difficult to do, especially for a small dev team. So what I kind of wanted to do was add this point to, oh my god, Moxie, please. We're just gonna have to shut the door. She's gonna be like that all night. And now she's right outside my door barking because I shut the door. I can't win. I can't win. But look at this good boy right here. He's been sitting there quiet the whole time. Y'all didn't even know he's back there. I didn't even know he was back there. Are you being a good boy, Mr. Famous? He's just a sleepy boy. Look at your cute little paws. They're like crisscrossed. There you go. Puppy cam. Here, I'll scoot to the side. Oh, I can't though. I have to really get in here. There we go. Okay. Puppy cam. Yeah, Moxie, unfortunately, like, there's just no stopping her. And, you know, I wish I could communicate with dogs to tell her to stop. Without having to yell and stuff like that. Gets old real quick. Yeah, what I was looking into adding these zone entrance points to the neighbor that it borders, because I will need to. It's not just going to be this chunk coordinate. I need to get the neighbor coordinate stuff as well. So it's going to need to be something like this. Yeah, I need to do something like that. Yeah, so I'm just going to iterate through each of the chunk to check, and then I just need to Do one of these in here. So I'll have like a an array of all the points of all the neighbors. Zone entrance points, and I will just append biome zone dot zone entrance points. Oh, what? Because it's a set? Okay, okay, we'll make it a set as well. She's still barking. Okay, so now I just iterate through and I'll say if zone entrance points is empty, we will return infinity. And then do that. Okay, so now we're all good there. So now that is getting me the closest, the distance to closest entrance. Now what I want to do with this is something similar. I basically want to get like a yeah, so instead of max border fall off distance, I want another one of these for max entrance fall off distance. Now I want to do a similar alpha here. This is going to be entrance alpha. Instead of that one, we're going to use this one. And so this is going to need to be how wide. And instead of 1 minus, I don't think I want a 1 minus here. Yeah, do that there. And so what is this going to give me? If I take the distance to the closest entrance and I clamp it from 0 to 1. So this distance is going to be like 5,000, and so if we are 5,000 away, it's going to give me 1. Is that what I want? If I'm 10,000 away, it's going to give me 2. Which will be clamped down to 1. Because I want this entrance alpha to be something that I subtract from alpha. Do I need to do it? I think I may still need a 1 minus here. And so what would that be? If I'm 5,000 away from the entrance, that would be 1, which would be that. Okay, I actually think I just take this and subtract it from alpha. Hell. I'll need to rebuild, but let's see what that looks like. Mr. I may need to scooch you a little bit, buddy. Would you be willing to be scooched? There you go. Good boy. There you go. Now he's he can be more in camera. The thing I hate shutting my door to my office, because in my computer it just compiles, and it just starts getting real fucking toasty in here. Ooh. What is this, the White Cliffs of Dover? Just kind of ends. It's so abrupt. It's crazy. Okay. Let us see what this looks like now. Get the map. Okay, that is a lot smaller. Holy hell, did that work on the first fucking try? Bro, look at that! What the hell? This worked on the first fucking try. So I might... Now, if I was smarter than I am, I would say I'm getting better at this. Bro, that's awesome. Okay, so let's get my ass over there. And also probably turn off the coloring. So I can get a feel. I need to get a feel for it. I know what you mean. I have two giant PCs that run 24/7. You got two of them, huh? Yeah, you got two space heaters in there, huh? Yeah, let's head over there. It's so hot. It's hard to sleep in the summer. Yeah, dude. It gets rough in here. Of course, I'm on the second floor, so like the air already has a tough time getting up here in comparison to the bottom floor. Wish I had space for an office. Yeah, thankfully I work from home, so it's very, very required for me to have an office, and I am thankful for that. Sick as fuck. Looks nice. Thank you. Thank you. I was pretty surprised that worked so well the first time. I was expecting it to look all janky and shit. You have trading robots, huh? Your little algorithmic trader over there. See, look at... Okay, see this? It's kind of hidden because of the trees, which is cool. I actually like that. Go check out the other one over there. What kind of, what's your, what is it called? What's your alpha signal? I used to do a fair bit of trading myself. Used to trade some options and futures. It was very stressful. I actually did try to write my own algorithm as well, but there's a lot of difficult problems to solve there. I had a pretty good alpha signal, but I was struggling to account for like slippage and leverage type problems. Is that a gap? Do we have a gap here? Or is it just because it's a, yeah, okay, it fixed itself because I got closer. Yeah, see, this looks like an entrance to something, right? Like, if I were to run over here. Be like, oh, there's a break in the mountains. Like, you can see that, right? It could be bigger. And I could make a different curve for it, right? I could make it look like a literal like straight up and down break. I have a smooth. Let me look at the curve here. And terrain assets, right? Yeah. So this is the curve I'm using for it. So it's like a nice. It'll be in that shape. Like if you imagine two of these put together. Like take this and reverse it over here. That's what these look like. Been doing it for 7 years now and trading for 10. Trading is actually the main reason I even started coding. Nice. Who knew that me learning to code would put me on my computer for 20 hours a day? Yeah. There's a lot to code, especially with the trading algorithm. I used to use Quantopian back when that was a thing. Because they let you, like, you probably heard of it if you've been doing this for that long. But they like let you, they gave you this platform to build algorithms on and backtest for free on. But if you started making money on it, they would take some from you, like, which I saw as a fair deal back then. Because they had like a bunch of data and stuff as well, which was really nice to have. Now this entrance is actually going to be kind of hidden on this side because of the mountains. Or these, not mountains, but these hills. Yeah, I could maybe make it even, because what I could do is I could make a path through here as well. I could have another spline, like a path spline. I've heard of it, never used it though. It sounds pretty cool though to test shit on. Yeah, it closed down. I don't know why, but it's not a thing anymore. But yeah, I used to trade based off of the value area. So the value area being the area where 70%, the price range where 70% of the volume of the previous day occurred. And then I also used to chart standard deviations as well, and I use those as levels of support and resistance. And so the value area rule is when, and this goes for either the value area low or high, whenever you have two 15-minute candles that close within the value area, there is a 70% chance that it will fill the value area, meaning the price action for the day will go through all of the prices in the value area. And so I was using that principle and that statistic to trade upon. And yeah, it was a positive, like when I was back testing with fake money, it was a positive result. But it was hard to, like, when I had an actual account, to like look at these different instruments and be like, okay, I'm this % confident in the fucking value area fill, and so therefore put this much money into it. And of course, when you would miss a trade fill, like when you put a bid out and it doesn't get hit, and you get passed up, it's like, how far do I chase that? And so trying to deal with those problems was very difficult. And I did this back when I was probably like 21 or 22. So that was what? Almost a fucking hell. That was like 7 or 8 years ago. And now I'm just running around in a video game world. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Let's go look at some more entrances. Yeah, let's check out these ones here. Oop, okay. Average true range, along with some other stuff that unfortunately I don't want to say. Yeah, I get you. I feel you there. Are all based off indicators. I only have 2 algos that do not use indicators. So are you actually running these with real accounts, or are you using fake money? Real account? Hell yeah. Is that what you do, like, full time? Like, so do you have a regular job or no? If so, good for you. Good for you. Real money for the past 5 years. Nice. That's it's complicated stuff. You should be proud of yourself for that. I did a decent job while day trading and swing trading options and futures, but it was so fucking stressful that, like, I was losing sleep over it, especially with the futures, right? Like, oh shit, Tokyo, the Tokyo exchange is opening here in a second. Yeah, I would literally not fucking sleep all night. And of course, you see, like, Wall Street Bets, the shit that they do on there, just like throwing so much fucking money, and you kind of want to follow it too, because you see the success stories. People making like fucking hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars off of like a fucking, you know, that couple $1,000 bet. And you try that, and you're like, well, there goes my fucking, you know, $2,000 or whatever you want to do. Yeah, shit's stressful. Yeah, have a good night, Alexandra, or a good day, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for hanging out. These entrances are looking good. It would be really cool to get some paths going. I don't know if I would I want to do some, and I think a path would just be like a little section where the material would just be dirt instead of grass and no foliage would spawn. And so I need to get better at materials. I need to research that a little bit because I do want to also change the terrain material based on the biome. So blending between different materials per chunk is going to be something I need to look into. So I need to do some material work and research before I can do paths, I think. I want to do rivers as well, but I'll need to do altitude first, which is another thing. I run 2 computers as my day job. I have a waste management company, and then I have a financial company, which the financial company deals in financial markets. Is just my bots running ads. You got that LLC, and give yourself a dividend. Give yourself a reasonable salary and then pay yourself in dividends to avoid paying taxes, or as much taxes rather. It's not avoiding paying taxes. It's what I used to do when I was a contractor. Or what? No, it's like an S corp or something like that, right? I forget. It's been a while. Yeah, them's the tricks. What do I want to work on next? I didn't think I was going to get through this. I cannot believe I got that right on the first try. That's nuts. Let's actually let's stop that. Maybe do we make it smaller? Let's see what happens when we make it smaller. It's 5,000 now. Make it 2,000. It's gonna be a really steep one now. A waste management company is an interesting hustle in comparison. Where do I want to check out? I'll just pick a random spot over here. Where the hell am I? I've forgotten where I am. Okay. What is that? Is that my entrance? Oh my god, it didn't even cut all the way through the mountain. So I guess it needs to be at least as wide as I have my mountains. Right? That's the minimum. That's what I've learned here. That's funny. So my max border fall-off distance is 4,000. So that means the minimum is that. So 4,000 is the absolute minimum like that. That hustle actually makes more sense than the financial company. Waste management is actually a crazy niche sector to be in. Yeah, I used to hold some literal waste management stock. Just because it was something that was always strong even in like recessions and stuff. That looks, I mean, that's about the same. It was only 1,000 off from what I had before. Let's change it to something bigger. Let's say something like 7,500. What kind of waste do you manage? Is this recycling type waste or is this landfill type stuff? That's almost the same as like as if I didn't do this. So I think like 4,000 or 5,000 might be the sweet spot. Household trash. So it's like a trash pickup. Oh, is it? Are you like the people that do the like the hoarders episodes? Like the, what is it, like 1-800 like give me your junk, like we haul junk or something like that? Is that the kind of business you run? Have you been on an episode of Hoarders? No? Okay, okay. I used to love watching that show, and then it just like turned into like people who have mental issues because they've like endured like really hard like deaths in their family, and it just turned really fucking sad. So don't watch that anymore. They're like the people that come to your house once a week to pick up a trash. Okay, so like the city contracts you? to do that stuff. I don't know why I didn't assume that at first. I just assumed like that was all like city ran. But yeah, that makes sense. So you're the people that gave me the warning that my my lawn bags filled with grass were too heavy. That was my violation. That was a violation. Yeah, what do I want to do next though? What do I want to do next? Let's commit this. And so let's do a zone entrance fall off. We go in the county, not... Okay, so you go out in the boonies, huh? Gotcha. Yeah, what do I want to do next? I didn't think I was going to get this far, and I'm not prepared for what I want to do next. I mean, I think the thing that it wants... what is it telling me it wants? I said I could do paths. I should probably do the altitudes. I should probably do the altitudes. And so, what the altitude is going to be... Let me boot this back up again. Let me boot this baby up. I do have the altitude value, and it is literally the lightness or darkness. So altitude of water is 0. 0 is sea level. And then there should be some altitudes that are close-ish to 1, and they should be very bright. Actually, they're not. They don't... What is my highest altitude? I got a 0.3. That's 0.33 is the highest I've seen. Okay, here's it's really high down here. We have an altitude of 0.66. I think that might be the highest I've seen. I'm just looking at these numbers up here. And so what I want is for these chunks to kind of gradually blend upwards a little bit based on that altitude. And so how would I fucking do that? I guess I would be applying it in the map generator, the same place that I'm at. I should probably apply the height curve. I should probably do that here. No, I should do it after the height curve. And what would I need? So I know what like a single chunk's altitude is, but I guess I need its like... I need its neighbor chunks as well, and I need to know what altitudes they are. And so for each vertex, I would need to know what coordinates. Basically, I need to okay, no, I think I got it. I need to know what the next closest coordinate is for every vert. So, and then I need to, yeah, MS Paint again. MS Paint. We fixed this issue. This is fixed. Get rid of this. Boom. Okay, so. Okay. Let's get some chunks here. We chunking. Probably be easier if I just use lines here. Okay, here's my set of chunks. Okay, so I'm undo that. That's the wrong color. Okay, now it's nice and pretty. So we're going to be checking, let's say we're checking this chunk, and there's a bunch of vertices in here. And the center, we have a center right here, and right here, right? And same for all the other ones. And there's just a bunch of vertices. And so, I guess what I'll need to do is, you know, like for this one, ooh, I need to combine actually. I can't just, well, I was thinking about just like getting this and like lerping between it, right? And so like, this one would be like right there. There's gonna be one like right there, and there's gonna be one like right here as well. Same for the other sides. And so like this one, I guess I would want to, I would just want to do like the average between the distance between these two. Like if I got distance to this vertices chunk center, because ideally the very center vert of each chunk is going to be at exactly the altitude of the chunk, and then all the other ones are going to be blended between that altitude and the next chunks, whatever those chunks may be, these altitude. And so I guess, do I just get distance to each and average it? Average all the distances? Do I want average? Average feels right, but I don't know why. Like, I don't know the logic for why I would want to average those. It really should just be these two, right? It's like, what triangle am I in? Should really just get the two closest points. And then there's like a max, I would lerp between the max distance, which would be 12,000. Well, no, because it can be diagonal to here. What is that distance? What is this distance? A squared plus b squared equals c squared, so it's like the square roots of 12k times 12k. What is that? Uh, 12 a squared plus b. Oh, it's 12 squared plus 12 squared. Okay, hang on. I can do this. So we're gonna do square root of 12 squared times 12 squared. That's not right. Hang on. What? Just tell me, what is 12 squared? 144. Okay, so times 144, and then we square root of 20 of that. Okay, what's the square root of that? Okay, so 100. Wait, what? Right. Wait. 12. I did 12 times 12, not 12,000 times 12,000. So it should be 114,400. If it should be 14 for. That's that distance. So that should be the max distance. And so, yeah, what was I saying I was going to need? I need, for each vert, I need to know, do I just add onto its height after the height curve? Because the height curve clamps it. But I think also, hang on, where am I using this? These are also values in between 0 and 1. Does that matter anymore? I don't think it does. That only mattered when I was doing my height value. Whenever I was, so I moved this. This is where I'm building the mesh over here. And I used to have this line where I was applying this height curve here, which is the very last step, is creating the mesh with all these points. Right now I'm just like applying the points, fixing them up and applying fall-offs, borders, and stuff like that, doctoring them, essentially. So I moved that upstream in the process. So I guess I don't need it to be in between 0 and 1 anymore. Good lord, look at all that garbage I left in there. Okay. So I guess first step is to get all the neighboring chunk locations and find for each vertice I need neighboring chunk locations. And then do I need each one? Like if I just average all of them, I don't think that would give me a good result. But if I just average the nearest ones, like the 3 nearest, the distances between the 3 nearest, and lerp between them, would that give me what I need? That's kind of what the path I'm thinking of. Or it would be the current plus the 2 nearest. I guess, would I need this one? Would I need the corners? No, I wouldn't. I would only need the cardinal directions. Because those are always going to be closer. Okay, okay. So I need a list of neighbor, I'll say neighbor chunk lokes. Okay, pass in the chunk coordinate to that. Yes, give me a member. That is a horrible signature. That's not at all what I wanted. Like, why is that what you think I would want? Okay. And so, yeah, where's my little T array here? There we go. There we go. Okay, center. We don't want the cardinal direction, or ordinal directions. We want the top. T array. F vector. Neighbor. Can't spell. Neighbor locations. And then I have like a world chunk location calculation somewhere. There it is. Times num squared verts per ton times scale. Okay, okay. Direction. Plus go back, plus direction times endless terrain num square verts per chunk times endless terrain scale. I should probably just add a method or a function on the endless terrain to calculate that. I will do that later, as I always say and never do. And yeah, I guess we'll just so that's going to give me the neighbor chunk locations. Yeah, we can make that constant. I want to do that outside the loop, because otherwise it's going to be less performant. And then I'll want a function for given a vertex. What is the what's the altitude modifier for it? What do I want that to look like? I guess just like a float, like get distance. What, like get average dist to what closest neighbors? And this will take in neighbor chunk lokes. Pre-calculated, of course. And I guess it'll also take in an X and a Y. Yeah, I think I'm still gonna... So I want like a T array floats closest distances. And I should have somewhere converting this XY into a world point as well. And what is world chunk location is a vector 3? Yeah, okay. Wait, why can't I use this one? It's missing the const qualifier. And so if I make it const, is everything gonna break now because I made that const? neighbor chunk locations there, okay. And now this is going to take in the world vert location without any height information on it, which is important. There's not like a reducer function, right? Okay, that's our shitty, actually there's probably fmath, there's probably an average. Weighted moving average. Okay, so there's not an average. Mean? Okay, there's not an average function. It's fine, we got our own. I and closest distances dot num. What am I doing here? I've lost my train of thought. I want to go through each float and closest distances and see if I need to overwrite it with the next closest. Right? So if cur dist less than closest distance. Distance between this closest distance and the world vert loc. Oh, what the? What? Why is my brain failing me right now? What the hell am I doing? No, I don't need to check that because I've already done it. Why is my brain failing me for what I need to do here? I want the closest two distances. Yeah, if, or I should say this is the farthest end. I need to find the farthest index. So cur dist we don't deal with until the end. Or Yeah, okay. Okay. And then I will say if current distance is less than the farthest distance, then I replace it. And I'll just say if farthest distance index equals index none, yeah, we add it and skip it. Yeah. Is equal to index none, or actually I can just say if closest distances dot num less than 2. We'll just add it. Okay, does that actually get me what the fuck I want here? Get average distance to closest neighbors. So max altitude distance is not something that I want to do. So I want like a modifier. I will want the I guess not only the distances, I want the weighted average of the two of the altitude values weighted by the distance. How do I fucking do that? Oh, Copilot, I hope you can help me. So this is actually going to be closest distance chunks. Yeah, so I want the two closest distance chunks actually. Okay. Okay, so farthest distance index. I'll just put this at the top. So I don't have to worry about that condition when I get down here, nothing crashes. This should be actually cur. If the current farthest distance that we're iterating over is greater than the, what is the old farthest distance, then we set the farthest distance index to this index. Wait, I'm so... Dude, why is my brain fried right now? So, for each chunk, I get the farthest distance index. I just make this an array of vectors, like, instead of... We'll just add the vector. We add the chunk. Closest distance chunks. Is that what I need to fucking do here? Okay, so for each closest distance chunks, don't have one, we're just gonna set it to I. Okay, so the current, let's just say current distance. No, current farthest dist. Distance between the world vert location. Wait, did I include the... I included the center, so I actually want the closest 3. Because that should include the center as well. Closest distance chunks. Okay, so I should have 3. So how do I do a weighted average? Say altitude weighted average. I need an alpha. I need to divide the distance so first of all, I need to divide the distance by endless terrain, scale, times endless terrain, num square verse per chunk. Yeah, that's right. And so that's how much alpha this one should have. And there's like an fmath lerp range. Okay, it takes in rotators. What the hell? By lerp. Between 4 values. This should be a 1 minus. And I should be lerping between 0 and whatever this closest distance chunk's altitude is, which should be in the biome component. Right? Or is it in world map? Is it in world map? Hang on. Yeah, so this is actually the altitude right here. A world map. Okay, so here I need to actually convert this chunk back to a 2D, which is kind of annoying. But that should give me the... I say should. I have no fucking idea of how well this is going to work. But that does give me somewhat of an altitude modifier, and so then I need to take that altitude modifier. Am I adding that? Am I adding that to the altitude weighted average? This should rather be weighted altitude. If I divide each one by 3, does that give me the average, or do I have to wait till the end? If I add 1 3 times, So if I add 3, 3 times I get 9, and at the end I divide by 3, I would get 3. So if I take 1 plus 1 plus 1, or what would be the 3's, and divide them first into 1's and add them, and then, okay, so it would be the same. So I can't divide by 3. God. Oh god, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this number. Recap. Okay, we're getting the distance and using the distance as a lerp. Am I? As my alpha for the lerp. To get the altitude modifier. Where the max value is the chunk altitude, which should be at like 0, 0 in the chunk, or rather in the center of the chunk. And then I'm going to add that altitude modifier to the altitude weighted average, weighted by the distance. And divide it by 3, because I'm going to do this for the 3 closest chunks. So let me actually think about some values here. So let's say this has an altitude of like, and they should be like very, very close values to each other. Let's say this one is 0.5. We'll say this is 0.4. And let's say this is also 0.4. So if I have a point right here, it should, and like this would be 0.45 right here on this line, and this would be 0.45 on this line, right there, you know, right here. This point if I add up, I have no idea how to do this math in my head. We'll just see what it fucking looks like. That's about as best as I can do right now. Okay, get average distance to closest neighbor. We have this. Now I have this average distance to the neighbor. Am I just adding this? Am I just adding this to the noise map value? I'll say average altitude modifier. I have no fucking idea what this is going to do. I have absolutely no idea. You have my word that if this works on the first try, I will literally shit my pants on stream. I'm rocking like a full 10% confidence that this will work in any capacity. And then after this, I'm going to probably take my doggies outside. Okay, let's see what happens. I have no idea what's going to happen here. This is going to be interesting. Okay, so nothing happened. And when I say nothing, it didn't even render anything. Okay, so we'll look into that. I gotta go take my dogs outside. I need to walk mine. He's been constantly trying to... Yeah. Moxie's ramming into the door. That's how I can tell she wants to go outside. So, yeah, I will BRB, run some ads real quick, and then be back to troubleshoot this. Hello, hi. You're so excited to see me, even though I just took you outside. Are you being a good girl now? What? What? What is your deal? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Okay. Why did this give me absolutely nothing? Can I not do plus equals on this? So let's do that, put a breakpoint there as well. So we can see what some of these values are. It's negative, okay. That would explain why nothing showed up. Why are you negative? Wait, what am I doing here? I'm taking... My alpha is 1 minus distance. No, I don't think I want that. I want that. Oh my god. I want the breakpoint to go away. Thank you. Stop, dear god. I never want the disassembly. Oh my god. Why is that? Why does that? What update, mate? Did you guys see this? Like, I can barely click on the breakpoint. I have to click on the very left side of it for some reason now. Huh. Bad UX. Probably an accident. Okay. Okay, this is something. Okay, I don't think that's working correctly. It's so crazy the capsule can balance like that. So, it's only applying the altitude. They're in a very short radius. I'm supposed to be doing that. A much wider radius. Which should be the number of square verts per chunk times scale, which is 12,000. Distance from okay, so I have distance from the closest distance chunk. And I want less of that the further away I am. And so I do want to do the 1 minus. Don't I? Yeah, because that would make it 0. And if alpha is 0, then we would get 0 altitude modifier. And divided by 3 would be 0, so plus equals 0. So why is it doing it in such a small distance to? I mean, I guess it's not really applying to any of the chunks, except for this, except for chunk 0. Okay, so let me, yeah, I'll need to step through this. I will need to step through this. Where do I want to start stepping through? I guess I'll step through. We'll first take a look at the neighbor locations. Make sure those look right. And then I'll want to... I guess breakpoint there, so I can see the closest distance chunks. And breakpoint there. And then yeah, I guess there just to see the final outcome as well. Okay, neighbor locations, of course can't see it. Great, love that. Chunk coordinate is 1, 0. So I guess maybe I need to put a breakpoint there. The closest distance chunks. That's not the right location. Yeah, that's not the right location. The heck? Yeah, that should be the chunk coordinate. Oh, here's what's going wrong there. There we go. That's definitely it. Okay. Is this gonna look better now? No, well, we have other ones I see now. I do have other points happening. There's a different point as well. and which are all just in the center of their chunk, right? Am I just pointing? Yeah, these points are just in the center of their chunks. Okay, so I need that to happen throughout the entire chunk and not drastically reduce like that. Okay, so radius still an issue. Now, I would have thought that this number right here would control the radius. If it's 12,000 away, which is what this number is, let me actually, I'll name this chunk width. Okay, and so distance divided by chunk width. So if the distance is between this and the world vert, the closest, one of the closest distance chunks, is less than the chunk width, which is 12,000. So let's say it's 6,000. This will come out to be 0.5, which would be 0.5. Perfect. Okay, and the alpha, and we would want that to be halfway in between 0 and chunk altitude. What if I just did chunk altitude times alpha? I mean, is that the same thing? I guess the idea behind the lerp is that if A is not 0, then it would make more sense to use it. But if the distance, and I want the opposite, it should be 0 to 1. I want the opposite because if this part right here returns 1, that means I am at the, or higher than 1. It shouldn't be higher than 1. If this returns 1 or higher than 1, I do not want this chunk's altitude to affect it. This point. Which means I would want to subtract it from 1. Or should I subtract 1 from it? Does it matter? Well, yeah, because this should be in between 0 and 1. So if I always subtract 1, it will be less than 1. Okay. Yeah, so that seems right. The chunk altitude. So, yeah, maybe I should step through this. Let me boop boop. We're gonna put a breakpoint on every line and run it. We're gonna see what some of these values are. Okay, none of them got hit. What the hell? Did I not do live coding? Okay, we changed something. I don't know what changed, but okay. Now let's try. Okay, so world vert location. Negative 1800, negative 6000. Okay, what is my closest chunk? I can't see that. Nice, nice. Okay. Distance. I can't see that, of course. Wait, why is this jumping back and forth and shit? Okay, now I can see distance. 8,000. Which would result in an alpha of I don't know yet. Dude, why is this jumping around? Oh, because it's happening async, right? Yeah, so this is happening for a lot of different chunks. And so my alpha is 0.29. And my chunk altitude is 0.20. It's very hard to determine this because of how async it's happening. So that was not enormously helpful. Oh, wait a fucking second. This looks different. Wait, is this it? It's doing stuff. It's not interpolating correctly, but it's kind of close. And so, if I'm looking at this correctly, this looks kind of close. Like, these ones over here are definitely higher, and if I look on the map, the altitude drastically drops off in this edge of the map. A lot of these look okay. Why are some of the seams not matching up, though, is my question. And if the seams were to match up, is this even correct? Let me run around a little bit. Bro, this is kind of sick. I'm very close. I just need to make sure the chunks line up a little bit better. Yeah, I'm wondering if I should get average of all. So I did average of 3. What if I did average of 5? This is so sick, you've come so far in like a week, man. Yeah, I'm actually really surprised as well. Like, whenever I first started doing the procedural stuff, like a year and a half ago, I had no fucking idea what I was doing. And I was less like, the ideas that I had in my head, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to pull that off. Right? Because the math specifically, okay, by 5 didn't seem to make much of a difference there. But yeah, the math, specifically what I just did with the math and the lerping and the alpha and dividing and stuff like that and adding, that would have been something that was like completely unobtainable. But here I am. Yeah, math is my worst subject. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's my worst, but it's definitely not my greatest. And I don't have a college level math class at all. Highest level math I have is high school pre-calc. So I have like literally 0 3D math skills, traditionally speaking. I fucking hate math. It's crazy that you're doing trading though, because that requires quite a bit of math as well. This actually seemed to maybe... Is it worse when I did all 5? When I averaged all 5? Oh no, I need to change this number as well if I'm doing that. So wait, if it's less than 5, this actually needs to be 6. If it's less than 6, just add it, because I have 5 total. Now, is this getting closer? I don't know if this is getting closer or not. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be any different, actually. Me too. I didn't even take pre-calc. Damn. Yeah, you're starting from a worse position than I am, I suppose. It does require a lot of math, and that's the part I hate most with it. If you would have asked my high school teachers if they ever saw me doing this, they would all say, "Hell no." Yeah. That's crazy. You're able to do that, though. You're a very motivated person to have accomplished that. Do I need to take into account... Because I said I didn't need to do the ordinal directions. Because they would never be closest. It would never be a part of the 3 closest. I feel like I'm so close. I don't know what... nothing is standing out to me. So let's change back to what it was. So this should actually be if it's less than 4. Let's do less than or equal to 3. That way the numbers match. We don't need to even think about it. 3 and 3. So we're going to have 3. Change it back to 3, which is what I thought we would need. Cortana, get out of here. Hang on. Cortana. Damn it, Cortana. Get out of here. No one ever wants to launch Cortana. Okay, we're still off. So let me check this out. Do any chunks line up? And do they line up perfectly? These two seem to line up quite nicely. Yeah, go 44. Oh, they don't line up perfectly. They don't. Okay, so it's almost no chunks line up perfectly. Do they curve in, like... Or is that just the lighting that makes it look like that? No, I think that's just the lighting that makes it look like that. Maybe a little bit? Maybe a little bit? What's the answer here? What am I missing? Because yeah, that doesn't seem to be any different of a distance. So no matter what I average, the difference between chunks seems to be the same. Moxie, what do you think? What's the answer? Hi, sweetie. She's so cute. You're being a good girl now. All those big doggies away. Oh, you want me to scratch your belly? Okay, I'll scratch it for a second. Only because you're such a good girl. Okay, so maybe, is it just how I'm applying it, then? I mean, I am just adding the average altitude modifier. I can't help but think it's the distance. Is average the... I mean, is the average correct? Maybe it's not. Maybe I shouldn't be averaging it. What would be the... So, like, for my fall-off maps, I would do a max. And I would just get, like, whatever the greater value is. But that would just end up creating a corner. Like, in the fall-off map. Very tight corner. Would that be the same here? Because these numbers are very, very close together for each chunk. So if I just got like the max, or rather, would it be the min or the max, or would it matter? As long as I do the same one for everything, would it even matter? Now if I just got the max, let me look back at my old diagram here. If I just got the max distance, or the... If I got all the altitude modifiers, if I got all of this number for each closest chunk, and then I just took the max. Let's just see what happens if I do that. So it's not exactly a weighted average anymore, but I'm just testing this out. Let's see what happens if I do just the min. And I may need to change it to the min, so if everything just looks absolutely fucksy-wucksy, then I'll just change it to min, and we'll see. One of the two should produce some sort of reasonable results. Okay, so that's max. Yeah, that ain't it. That ain't it. Some of the chunks actually connect together. Actually, most of them do. Except for right there, which is interesting. Oh, there's a little corner right there that doesn't connect as well. Or are these actually connecting together now? Let me get to a non-BCG couple of chunks here. They do actually seem to be connecting quite well. It's a very abrupt transition between each chunk. I guess now because like as we get through each chunk, they're taking into account another one. I would have thought that because we're doing the 12,000 max distance, that the transition wouldn't be so drastic for some reason. But I guess because it's doing if I change to a min, grab the smallest value, does this even look any different? This is just right back to where we started. Yeah, so this didn't increase height at all. So those are just all zeros. But like all these chunks connect together very nicely. So I guess then what the issue is, I think maybe there's multiple issues here. Maybe average was the way to go. Do I need... I don't foresee... I determined that like 400 would have been the max distance. I'll change this to, okay, whatever. Between a ordinal direction chunk. So let me see, I'm not actually checking. Okay, that looks all sorts of wonky. Okay, that looks quite a bit worse. Would that look better if I actually included checking the diagonal chunks, rather than just the cardinal direction chunks? Okay, this looks different. Why is this different? I thought that we were back to... What is happening here? They're all slanting in the same direction. What the heck is going on here? This was 3 and I changed it to num. Did that actually like affect things? Or did I change something else somewhere? Oh, okay. Ignore that issue. No, this seems to be this. Wait, what? What happened to what I had? What the hell? And why are these all going in the same direction? And why is that there? What is that? What is happening? What is happening? Oh, is it because I put that up there? Oh, I set it to equal rather than plus equals. That makes sense. That's what I messed up on. Forgot a single symbol. No, we got it. We got it. We still got it. We're still good. I like having small dogs because I don't necessarily have to take them on a walk. I can just like throw a toy down the hall for a little bit and they get enough exercise. I don't have to like, they're not big. There we go. Okay, so now we're back to the original problem. Now they seem to match up better in the cardinal directions than they do the ordinal directions. You'll notice like with like this one, it's like closer once it gets towards the middle, once it gets closer to a cardinal direction, right? And these ones are like almost perfectly fine in that direction. And so I'm wondering if I just need to include checking the cardinal directions. That looks kind of crazy right here. Now these ones just aren't very different, so that's why they match up better. These ones are. So let me change this to I have a set of these in here. Okay, yeah. We're gonna get that whole one now. Let's just do this. Well, we're just gonna get the average of all of them. I meant to comment that out actually, not let's just get the average distance of all of them. And then do I need to maybe find the max distance rather than assuming it's 12,000? This looks like something. Is this it? Is this it? The way I can tell is you can check out the color difference here, right? You can really see it from like here. Like this is very green up here, and thank God for my that landscape auto material that I always show off. Thank God I got that fucking working early in the process. Like you can tell, this is on average higher because it's more brown, more mountainous. And then this area is somewhere in the middle. It's a little brown, a little green. I think this is it. So rather than this might be it. I guess I did need to check the ordinal directions. Let's run around a little bit, see if we can, so I see some breaks over there. I think that might just be because there's different LODs. So once I get over here. Yeah, I think those gaps went away. I can't... It's so crazy, like how when you look from above, like you can easily see where the terrain chunks are. But when I'm at a player level, I have no idea where the beginning and end of a chunk is. And that's good. That is generally a good thing for me. Genuinely a good thing for me. This is kind of sick. Like there's actually a height difference. Like that height difference that I'm looking at right here, so like from like right here to like over there, that wouldn't have happened in a I wouldn't have gotten that kind of difference. This is cool. This is really cool. Now, and I could multiply this, right? I could multiply it by 2 to like make it more drastic if I wanted to. This is cool. There's like little, this is nice. This is nice. I don't know that I want to make it more drastic though, because then that's just going to be like really awkward to run around and have combat on. Where like the guy is like standing, you know, whatever guy you're facing is like standing taller, way higher than you. So this actually feels really good. I want to go over here to where it's like really tall, because I think this was my highest area. Okay, interesting that it's all green. What happened? Is my material not calculating what is the... So the way I lerp between different materials, let's go over here, is by finding the max height. I don't exactly know or remember how I find the max height, so I wonder if I may need to change that a bit now. That the max height is now not very... or not as deterministic. What is that? That's crazy looking. Oh, those are borders. That's funny. They are too tall. I mean, these look reasonably high as well. Even though they seem like they should probably be lower. Let me look at how I'm calculating max height. Yeah, where is this coming from? I can't find usages of this. Okay, I'm not using that one anywhere, I guess. Okay, here it is. Okay, so I'm taking the height multiplier times the highest height curve value. Now the highest height curve value is now not necessarily the highest. It's that plus whatever the highest altitude chunk is. But I mean, that should be, that should make these the same. And these should all be like, oh, I'm always adding. So there's gonna be less water. I always add the height multiplier, or the altitude multiplier. Just like for here is like 0.11, for the chunk I'm at like 0.22, so it's always going to be higher now. So I guess when I add that, that means there can be less water in some zones. Do I have gaps here? Or did those just update? Yeah, those just updated. Yeah, I guess it could mean in the, I mean, which would make sense, right? Like there's not going to be very many lakes in higher altitude areas. Interesting to me, there's very little grass, just straight grass now, even in the... Let's go over here. So this is a generally higher area. Oh, and it looks like it is time for me to get off. So this is actually pretty exciting. Pretty good stopping point, actually. We will debug this tomorrow, figure out more about it, and but it's looking good. I'm surprised at our progress. I didn't even think I was going to get done with the first thing, which was the zone entrances. So, yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, everyone. I hope to see you again in the future.